Good morning. What's up, crew? It's Friday. It's FAFO Friday. It is January 24th. Here we are, almost a month into the year. And what a month it's been so far. Look at this daily chart. Look at what we've done. Wow, incredible. How's everyone doing out there? Good morning to all of you, no matter where you're watching from or what platform you are watching from. We appreciate you joining this morning. Let's see how the market goes. I see Pete the cat already in the chat. What's up, my friend? Good morning to you. Glad you are here. We get all situated this morning. See if we can find some trades today. I'm not 100% sure what we get today. Just being 100% honest. It's been a wild ride. Yeah, I think there's a lot of probabilities here, but we'll break down kind of the thoughts and be ready for whatever comes, right? Obviously, if you've had a great week, if you've had a great couple weeks, month to start the year, knowing we have a lot of stuff coming up next week, maybe we take the foot off the gas, coast a little bit into the weekend, but we'll see. Whenever the iron is hot, I like to strike it. Whenever it's not, we go with it. Gracias, mi amigo, hermano. Gracias por juntarnos con nosotros hoy. A little bit of Spanish this morning for my friend over here. Jayhawk, I see you there. Good morning. Good morning. Jayhawk, talking about Jayhawk. It is basketball season. Basketball season is fully going. I'll have to check out some of those Jayhawks this season. All right, what are we looking at, guys? You guys let me know what's on your watch list today. If there's any tickers or anything you're watching, directional trades you're watching on futures. For those that don't know, I do trade in Q mostly. Every once in a while, I'll jump over to ES or RTY, the small caps, either one. But mostly, I'm a tech-focused trader and investor, to be 100% honest. And so that's where I live. I live right here on QQQ and NASDAQ, but in my opinion, it is impossible to trade tech and NASDAQ without keeping an eye on the S&P as well. So make sure we understand that. Heavy levels on SPX will move the market. That's just how it works. But anyways, let me know what you guys are watching this morning. Here's what I'm watching. I'm watching this daily chart right here. Let's put it up a little bit larger on your screen. And let me do this. Let's get it adjusted. Are we there? Are we there? There we go. We'll go right there. That looks good to me. All right, so let's take a look at where we're at. We do have a couple minutes before the open here. Only thing before the open I noticed, Meta took a big dip and is coming back. NVIDIA ripped and kind of trying to hold in up here. There was a new story that came out that Zuck said that they were spending a ton of money essentially buying stuff in buying NVIDIA chips, I believe. So that is that's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. Here's the big picture right here, guys. You see this downtrend, we broke out of it. We perfectly back tested it on this candle right there. If you can see that right there, back tested it perfectly and launched up here yesterday. You could almost call this an inside day. I know we did break the low a little bit and we still closed green, which is outside of the norm, but that did happen yesterday. If you look at SPY, all-time high, brand new all-time high yesterday, broke out of its trend and all-time high. What else can you say about all-time high? There's nothing more bullish than an all-time high, right? I see NVIDIA in the comments here. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA, I think, has to be a top watch. So we're seeing all this talk about AI right now from the new administration. We're seeing a lot of these companies like Meta this morning talking about how much more they're spending and buying from NVIDIA and how much they're investing into AI. Next week, several Mag 7 earnings coming out. We'll also know that how much they're spending. We'll hear a lot of read-throughs on that. So I think NVIDIA has to be on your watch list. So that'll be very interesting. Take a look at the small caps over here. Trying to get back to this 50-day right here, and let's have this zone here. I would really like to clear this zone and start trading long up here. This area right here, I mean, you're between here and here, there's tradability, but to me, if you're holding above this 225 area on IWM, I think you have a little bit of a base there, but at the same time, there's a little bit of an overhead area here that I'm worried about. This is coming from way back, some previous all-time high supply. We'll see how that plays out, but keeping an eye over there. The dollar index has come in a little bit, thankfully. It's cooled off a little bit. Bonds pushed up, pulled back a little bit yesterday. We'll see how that continues to play out. And VIX has been getting absolutely sucked out of the market, which as a trader, I hate, but my long-term portfolio likes it. So I guess we can't be mad about that. And we're gonna get the open right here. Let me throw my chart on so we can watch this opening candle, see what happens. And we'll go from there. You can't hear the speakers. I think it was because nobody was talking. So I am listening to spaces just so I can get some commentary in my ear from them. Won't be talking a whole lot over there. All right, as we open the market here, we are above previous day high already on QQQ. That makes me not want to look for a big reversal. Let's see, where did we close yesterday? We're pretty much probably filling the gap already on this first minute. We get to this first minute candle. Yeah, here's the gap right here. So this gap's going to fill immediately. We don't really have a gap fill play, but we will watch this right here once this fills. We need to watch this because based on all the data, breaking previous day high, we probably closed here or above. So that's kind of the first thing that just comes right to my mind is watching that. Let's see, SPY's already filled its gap. It's already broke previous day high. This is bullish structure from a probability standpoint, but we can't forget where we've come from, which is all this right here. So it's tough. It's tough for me to want to get super long up here, but we'll see. We'll see what we can play off of. Look at this, 610 on SPY. Unbelievable new all-time highs right here off the morning. Microsoft coming down a little bit at the open. Let's see what else. Microsoft is selling off decently hard, actually. Going through some of the Mag 7 names as we get the market open, and I'll hit some data. What else are you guys watching this morning? I know we've got several people stopping by in here. Tech is coming down. Microsoft coming down really hard here at the open. But SPY still strong. I think you look to buy the dip, probably. I hate to say that, but do you buy VWAP here? Do you buy down here? If anything, I would love to come down here and catch a reversal back up today. I just think that that's kind of the opportunity that I'll be looking for. But we'll see. Let me know what you guys are looking at. I know we got an NVIDIA in here. We'll see if some of our friends that have been on the stream throughout the week join up. Let me get some retweets going out here. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys are watching. I'm gonna retweet this. Boom. All right. All right, Bitcoin. That is a good one to hit. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. You can trade Bitcoin futures, by the way. Boy, Bitcoin, the first thing I notice is this right here and this right here. It's the first thing I notice on Bitcoin. That if we get some more positive news on Bitcoin, I just think it can go. I'm going to take this off actually And I want to look at this right here. Okay, so we are golden retrace. Interesting. I actually really like this. Look at that, 120 being an extension, 113 first extension. I actually like that. I'm going to leave that on there. Bitcoin will be very interesting. Coinbase has been on my watch. I think we can get up here to this volume shelf, 315. They've been on these 310s. I don't know if you trade, if you do trade, wow, Google's ripping right now. If you do trade Bitcoin related names, options, Coin is on my watch for sure. MSTR, I can't really get involved over here. I see this down here, Riot. Riot is very interesting because look at this base. I mean, let's draw this out. Let me get a box over here. Let's just draw this right here. And the reason I'm drawing it here and not including this is because look at all these tops right here. And then look where we're kind of trying to sit, and then you see all the bottoms here. So you peaked above it a couple times, peaked below it, but look at this. So right in the middle of that box, this is this volume shelf right here. I think as long as you hold over 12 bucks, I think you have a shot at going higher. You can see I've charted out a level up there before. I would love for this thing to get going. The Bitcoin miners are just a tough one for me. It's a little bit tough for me to really get excited about those Bitcoin miners. When I can buy other proxies to it, I'm more of a fan of Coinbase, and honestly, I'd probably rather trade MSTR than one of the miners. But some of them do set up very nicely. When they pop, right? So that'll be very interesting. All right, I'm still watching the futures here. We are pulling back a little bit. If we hold this area, maybe we try a long. Let's look over here at Edgeful. We've already got the gap filled. We'll check the orb here in 8 minutes. We need to hit this real fast before I go into the data this morning. All right, this is what we have right here. Right here. How do I just want to highlight this right here. All right, this is what I want to highlight. S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. We have the flash, global services flash. This right here, 945, and you see the composite as well. So these three right here, they all come out together at 945. That is in 9 minutes, 8 minutes at this point. We definitely want to be aware of that because that could give us some volatility and some movement. Don't want to take a position before that. And then this is just the final. If you guys have followed along, you guys know I watch the Michigan. For whatever reason, the market really likes Michigan. I've heard it described as like it's more of like a boots on the ground look at what's actually going on. That's why people kind of pay attention to the Michigan data. For me, I do pay attention to it, especially on Fridays, because I've seen it move the market multiple times, one direction or the other. However, and it doesn't keep it going sometimes. A lot of times it can reverse back, right? But at least gives us some type of move and a read through on some stuff. But this is the final revision. You see where it says final? That means final revision. So we do have less of a surprise or shock factor there. So we'll see what happens on that. Put that back over here to the side. Let's take a look at Edgeful. Now, what I was talking about right off the bat here, SPY is still pushing up higher. Tech not pushing up higher. That's very interesting. I'm assuming Microsoft is dragging us a little bit. NVIDIA's come all the way back down. Well, NVIDIA is all over the place right now. It gets excited on these pops and then just comes back in. But here's what I'm talking about. So we've already filled the gap. We've broken previous day high. So previous day high here broken. SPY previous day high broken. The two immediate things that come to mind, and if you've watched any of these streams, you know exactly where I'm going. All right, let's go to previous day's range. Let's take a look at QQQ. Previous day high is broken, 81%. I want to play 81% all day long. I want to play this all day long. All right, I'm tempted to just try along here. Right now, let's try it. I don't want to be in a position with that data, but I think we can try to bounce it here 20 points or so. Off of 22K. See if we can bounce it back up here. There's VWAP. Let's see if we can get 20 points. All right, taking my trim there. You see it shot all the way up to 28. Perfect. Look at that. I don't like being like super long or like having super high targets just based on the bigger picture, but I can't ignore the data that says we broke previous day high, we're gonna have a green day. I just can't ignore that. Well, let me get back to that data real fast. 81% that we have a green day today. So how do I watch that? Here, let me drop it down to 5-minute chart so you can see this. This yellow line right here is where we closed yesterday. That's the gap fill indicator. Right here, gap fill indicator. This is yesterday's close. I expect us to close here or above. That's why I went long, because I think we're gonna go back up here. Now, this is a quick long because I would much rather come down and like this area down here, come down here and then come back up. Much rather do that. But hey, if they want to give us a shot early in the morning, this 22K, you saw it last night, it was holding, it finally broke and then reclaimed, and it's, you know, look at all these bottom wicks. I mean, there's definitely interest here. So I'm just shooting for the 75 up here, really is all I'm shooting for. Really, I trim here 50. Yeah, probably trim up here in the 50s, maybe in the 40s even. But we'll see. We'll see what presents itself. Well, look at SPY just trucking along on SPY, but we definitely want to know that there's a strong probability that we're going to have a green day. 79% on SPY. So very similar stats on both SPY and QQQ that we have a green day today. And this was just more of a scalp trade, so I'm going to have a tight stop here. I think my average ended up being right here by the time I got in. But I am currently in. We're just going to, let's see. This is what I'm currently in. I've already trimmed out half, because I got in here, I got about 20 points, trimmed out half. Early in the morning, I don't like it. We've got 3 minutes till that data comes out, so let's be careful here. Nice move. Look at this. Nice move here. Boy, Palantir's flying. Wow, look at Palantir go. Beautiful. What other names are you guys watching this morning? It's a big upper wick. But I want to get out of this position before this data comes out. Let's see if I can get another pop. How much on that? 45 seconds. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. Actually, I may just go ahead and start closing out here. Let's see if it can pop up here. I'm going to move up my stop like this. Actually higher. Like right there in that wick. Lock in the profit. Look at this thing jumping around right now. It's wild. We can take a look at ES as well. I want to watch this data as it comes out here. Here's the data's out. Michigan or S&P Global Composite. It'd be cool if I knew what it was. Come on, load. Where's my squawker at? There we go. Services PMI 52.8 versus 56.5 consensus. Manufacturing 50.1 versus 49.7. And composite still loading through. I did take that next trim right here at the 50 as I mentioned, and then this is full target. I hate holding stuff into that, but I wish this composite PMI would load. There it goes, 52.4. 52.4 on composite PMI. All right, let's take a look at those ES futures for you. Is it Andrea or Andrea? I'm not sure. I never know. That's a tricky one. I get hit on that. Look at these new all-time highs here. Let's go to a higher time frame chart. Did we break? Okay, so because of the contract roll, it's not all-time highs yet on ES, but it is on SPY and everything else. This is a beautiful look here. I mean, look at you. You move up. You move up. This is a little staircase here. Staircase. It looks good. Look at SPY. Beautiful. Deborah is trying to master SPY. The S&P. So at this point, SPY, I think you want to hold above this right here. Honestly, this 607.50. I think you want to hold up here as much as you can. ES has a lot at 61.65 right above our head. A lot of bookmap orders there. NQ has some at the 75 area and then up at 100 and then 150 I see above us. SPY is a great starting spot, by the way. And let me do, as always, let me shout out Edgeful because they have this amazing data where you can put this behind your trades, whether you're trading any ticker out there. But like, for example, SPY, you can get gap stats. You can look at your 15-minute orb, your IB, and all these are customizable. You can even look at the ADR. What's our average daily range? Have we filled that? How far are we moving? Those type of things. Definitely give that a look. We will look at that throughout the stream. It's an integral part of my trading. And hey, I tell you what, guys, there's a big, massive update coming. Massive update coming. There we go. We are ripping. Just gonna send it. All right, come on, give me my full target up there. 74. You see my target, 74, full target. Just send it. KOPN. Was that Copen, I think? KOPN. Yeah, Copen. Yeah, look at this big pop inside day so far. I don't know. That's going to be a tough trade. Anything that pops like this for me as a risk to reward type of trader, it's hard for me. I don't mind momentum trades sometimes, but boy, that's a tough one. It's a tough one to fade, and it's also a tough one to get long up here. And at that price point, I mean, you're looking at equity more than anything. You look left on the chart, you're going to run into a lot of traffic over there. Topher, buen día, mi hermano. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo andas? Newman. Hey, so did this happen to any of you? Let me pull up XYZ. So Block, which was Square, right? SQ changed their ticker symbol the other day. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know what date went into effect. And I was looking for it on my watch list, and I was like, where is it? And then I saw SQ was just red over here. And I was like, what is going on? Why is there no data? And then I was like, oh, it went into effect. So Block, which was SQ, is now XYZ. This daily chart looks very, very interesting to me. A lot of consolidation, a lot of nice talk around this name. You look left and you see this kind of area back here that it back tested and, breakout, kind of a back test and trying to go. I definitely like the look of that. Let's see what it looks like on like a 3 hour. Pretty constructive look overall on a 3 hour. Definitely worth watching. I know there's a lot of chatter around that name right now. So good stuff there. Newman, let's take a look at that. Coin, I mentioned Coin earlier. I really like Coin. Yeah, Coin looks good to me. We filled this fair value gap, essentially. We filled this gap over here. Let's go back to the daily. So from this drop here, you basically left kind of a gap here, and we filled that the last couple days this week, and now we're pushing. I want to get to this volume point of control up here. 310s on the option chain have been big. I like Coin calls, and I like what Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin, look, is trying to peak out. This isn't a super strong trend because it's only 2 touches, right? 1 touch here, 1 touch here, but we are peaking out of that. If Bitcoin doesn't go, it's going to go somewhere by Monday. I mean, just the way this consolidation looks. Hopefully it goes back up here again, and we get some continuation there. But we'll see what happens. But I do like Coin. All right, we almost got to my target. We were 4 points away. If it wasn't so early, I would have probably already, or I would have more so I could be trimming into this, but I really don't have much more to trim, much more room, because it was early in the day. We had the data coming out. Didn't want to take any risks there. And there's my full target. All right, so we started out with a great trade. How many points did we get? 50, or wait, no, because I called it out down here. How do I fix this? Okay, we're just gonna go. I think like that ended up being my average around that area. So 60 point, we'll call it a 60 point trade on the long this morning off of 22. So I'm out, gonna take it off my screen. I'm out of the trade. We made some money already this morning. It's a good morning. Happy Friday. Let's go, stream. Let's go. All right, as we get the 30-minute orb, we're gonna start looking at stats. We already looked at some of the Edgeful data. once again, let's jump back over here and look at this. We should close here or higher based on data. QQQ, we should close right here or higher based on data. We'll get that, once that org gets set here in 6 minutes, we'll get that going. I think this can go much higher though. Let's see, this 96 definitely has to be your next target because of the R1 up there. I don't have much above that. I mean, at that point, bookmap orders, like I said, I saw some bookmap orders up here. Let's drop that on the chart just to have it for reference. There we go. I won't be surprised to reject here though on this level and come back down. We need to see if we can hold the 50s, maybe even 40, kind of the midpoint so far. If we want to continue higher, that's where we need to hold. Looking left to see what else is over there. Well, we'll see. Next week is going to be wild. So part of the reason why I'm like hesitant, I mean, we've moved up a lot. Go back to this day. Let's go back to the daily chart. Let's just look at this. So let's look at NQ on a daily, even if we look at NQ. So Monday, you know, look, we came way down here on Monday. But even if we talk about where, let's see. If we go low to high, 6.76% move. If we look at QQQ, which is it trades regular hours, even this is where we opened last Monday, 6.5% move here. That's a big move with very little pullback. This was a little bit of a pullback, and this, so it's done like a healthy move, but there's gaps here. I don't know. It could keep going first and then do this, but how many people are going to be sticking their head out ahead of next week? I mean, if we pull up Earnings Hub to take a look at what's going on, we did have some report this morning, but if you're looking at this for next week, you're probably already in your position. If you're big money, you're probably already in your positions. But when I look at next week, SoFi, I have a lot of people watching that one. SoFi on Monday before the opening. A lot before the open, but like if we look after hours, so look, Tesla, Microsoft, Meta, all right here. This is also FOMC day. And then Apple as well the next day. So we have 4 Mag 7 names reporting next week on Wednesday and Thursday, plus Jay Powell. How much risk are you going to put out into the market ahead of that, right? What would your thought process be like? I really want to stick my neck out before we get FOMC, before we get Jay Powell or anything like that. So that's a tough call for me, right? Tough. I just think that's a tough look. Tempted to buy this back test here. I think you could and risk down. You'd have to risk down to here though. You don't have to. I guess you could risk it here. Oh, Twilio. TWL. Twilio. So this chart looks fantastic, right? But if you are not already in, how do you get in here? How do you get in? If you're not already in, how do you get in? Because this, I mean, this plus this, I mean, for those, if you've been trading for a while, I'm sure you can already see this, but you see this right here. It's hard to not look at this and go, oh, well, yeah, obviously it is where it is. You look left, it's going to be very interesting. Look at this spot up here, 151. I think it's going to be a challenge. But other than that, wow. I mean, look at this base too. Look at this base it broke out of. This is a 2-year base down here. I've charted this a few times before. But what do you do? What do you do? Taiwan Semi and Netflix, partially because they've already reported. I like that approach, actually. Let the dust settle. They've already reported. Netflix, I'm staying long Netflix. I just think it's a name that I personally want to stay long. They crush their subscriber numbers. Taiwan Semi looks good too. If you look at Taiwan Semi. I mean, wow. Taiwan Semi, just an integral piece there. Great news coming out all the time. I mean, nice trend. You can see it's doing kind of a wave deal, but it's nice. It's very nice. Netflix is one of those, like, I mean, do you buy something like NFLU, which is the 2x leverage one, maybe with some equity, and try it that way? This is tough. I mean, if you're wanting to buy more, you almost want to buy more down here at the previous all-time high. But we could just hold this 950 and just hold. I mean, this could be a gap and go, right? High right at 1,000. All right, QQQ is still looking good. SPY, look at this. SPY just doesn't even have a red candle yet on the 15-minute. It's just continuing. All right, Michigan data's out, as well as existing home sales data. Both just came out. I do like that thought though, Newman. They've already reported, so you know the dust can kind of settle. Yeah, I like that, and you kind of know what you're getting. You know what the tone is set for the next little bit. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in. Right now we're doing this. We're trying to do it every Wednesday and Friday. I know Friday's pretty much locked in, so every Friday morning for sure. Wednesday may get changed out for Monday, depending on a week-to-week schedule. I think next week will probably be a Monday, Friday. I'll confirm that today and figure that out for sure. But definitely on Friday, every Friday morning right now is the plan, plus any Monday or Wednesday, either one. So twice a week for 2 hours, 2 horas cada semana, aquí mismo en X y en el YouTube. There you go. We're having a bilingual stream this morning. How about that? You guys weren't ready for the bilingual stream. We like to give everyone a shout out. So this is what we want to see hold here on SPY immediately. Previous day high in the close. We want to see this hold on QQQ. Long stock on Netflix. Set long, penny long a stock just means you're bullish on it. You're long it. You want it to go up. You're betting on it to go up. If you're short a stock, you are betting on it to go down. That's the general process there, I guess would be the term. All right, let's see if we hold the 21. Tempted to try another long right here. It's probably going to jump without me though. Maybe down here at 22. What is this, 19? I kind of want to take a shot at it, but I'm not sure. Oh, as opposed to options. Okay, so I'm watching this VWAP real fast. See if we bounce off a VWAP right here. I'm considering taking a long real fast, and then we'll hit that question again. I don't know. I'm going to wait and let this play out a little bit. I don't want to be right here in the middle. I definitely could see the argument of buying it right here. I'm not super excited about it. I would feel better down here. We do have our 30-minute orb. All right, like I mentioned earlier, I would like a scenario that we come down into this area, into yesterday's value area, and then we long back up here. But it's tough for me to short when we've broken previous day high. I really want to try to long here. So like the reason I say like equity, so like I want to be long equity on a stock that I really like the story around, the narrative around, something I want to hold for extended period of time. Sometimes I'll do that through options, but sometimes you got to deal with the theta a little bit. And after you've had a big move, theta volatility is expanding, and then it kind of gets sucked back out a little bit. So you have to be a little bit more calculated in options that way. That's why I mentioned that NFLU. It's just a 2x leverage equity that you can play. I would never play options on a 2x leverage, by the way. But I do like NFLXU as like, NVIDIA has one. It's in NVDX, I believe. Palantir's got one. Apple's got one. There's a lot of different ones, right? But I'm still watching to see if this holds. If it shoots down, I may buy it. What are we doing here? But yeah, anyways, that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Net premium split pauses bearish. Yeah, it could be short-term bearish for today, but I'm saying like for the entire day. Yeah, MSTU, TSLL, yeah, penny. So like, especially right now during earnings season, if you're trying to play a move, maybe you buy a little bit of equity and capture a little bit of a move there. You can sell in before and after hours. Playing options around earnings time is very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. I don't know. It starts to become a little bit, I don't like to gamble. I like to have some type of edge in the market, right? So, yeah, that's just, I trade on probabilities. Probabilities are stacked against me. I don't like it. Well, I didn't buy this, but I still think this probably holds and goes up. Let's see, QQQ basically held that area. I think you have to bet on the upside. This isn't the greatest looking candle. Maybe it sorts itself out, but if we get a big bottom wick, but I definitely see, this could be your like shooting star. You come back down here. If you touch this would be a perfect back test, by the way. This is essentially the previous high. If I like zoom out here on SPY, you see that high right here. That's what this level is. We call it NFP level in some systems. I am watching that right there. Let's get the orb on here. I like 30-minute orb. We'll start to look at the stats. All right, so we broke orb low actually, but SPY has a little bit better. I'm gonna go to this report page right here on Edgeful. Orb opening range breakout, 30 minutes. And we're gonna go same candle first. So what I'm looking at here, double break is not very common. So in the next 30 minutes, double break's not very common, but throughout the day, but just because we broke the lower orb, double break is the most common. So it may take more than the next half hour, but we should, or we have a decent chance of breaking both sides on SPY. All right, so QQQ hasn't broke either side. We haven't broke either side yet. No breaks, 0%. We're going to break one side or the other. Take your pick. That's throughout the same candle. So in the next 30 minutes or next 20 minutes at this point, we're going to break one side or the other based on the data. 125 times it breaks one side or the other. We'll see which side it breaks. And then throughout the day, pretty even stats on that 30-minute orb. The IB stat is the strong one. I didn't mean to go back to earnings hub. Breaking both sides is in orb low or high. Yeah, so breaking both sides. So that's what I'm looking for. So like in this scenario right here, here's the upper orb, here's the lower orb right here. I was going to SPY because it's already broke. So here's upper orb, here's lower orb. You see this wick came through right here, this wick. So we just wicked through right there. And to break this one in the next 30 minutes is not super positive or strong. But what it does do is it gives us the ability to know that at least breaking this and breaking this, so breaking both, is the most common thing on SPY. Happen, but compared to just breaking one side, it is the most common to break 40. So just, I didn't know this yet, but it still looks like, it looks decent. It looks really trappy. We're right here in the middle. This is the midpoint of the orb right here. This is 75 and 25% based on this range. And notice our orb below is going to be right at 22K today. So it's going to be an interesting thing. Very trappy. Trappy. Broadcom's having a nice morning. Looking at our SPY off of this level. I want to be long, just for at least for a reaction. And QQQ, this area right here, NQ 22. If we do see this, I think I'm going to try long again. So this comment right here from Investor's Guide: when you stretch a strategy, you might as well sit out. Better take profit for the day and go for a walk. Yeah. So when you start really looking, when I start really searching for a trade, that's probably when I should not be taking a trade, and that's why I haven't taken one just yet. We're right here in a very trappy zone. I mean, look, VWAP, all the EMAs are right here. We're right in the middle of the orb, a little bit below the middle point of the orb. We're still above the very key level that we know. We've seen this the last few days, but we ran into the same resistance up here that's rejected before. So what do you do here? I think the answer is probably nothing. Let it resolve itself first and then react to price action. But yeah, Broadcom is up very nicely this morning. CrowdStrike's up a little bit. Meta's green, even after that pre-market little dip. Tesla's green this morning. Google's green. Costco's green. I call it Costco because if you guys follow me and have paid attention, I watch the top 10 weighted stocks in QQQ. The top 10 weighted stocks in QQQ. because I want to see what those stocks are doing, because that's what can move QQQ the most, right? Or the NASDAQ. Amazon coming down a little bit, just went red on the day. Apple getting beaten up again. Microsoft's hanging in here. It's a little bit red, but it's hanging in for now. It looks like it's got some buyers underneath it. Nvidia's coming down. And Netflix down a little bit this morning. Another one of the top 10 holdings there in QQQ. Yeah, Amazon's getting beat up a little bit here. Let's keep our eyes on this, and let's keep our eyes on that SPY level that I'm watching closely. Yeah, the easy trade. Why overcomplicate this? Why force something that's not a high risk reward? I would rather have clear trades. When we're in the middle of something, I don't want to be in the middle. I want to trade the edges. That's just my style. PLTR, is PLTR still going? Oh wow, yeah, PLTR hanging in there, 81.5. Is that a new all-time high? Not quite. Nvidia puts are coming in active. So we're right near pre-market lows. Let me get back to SPY and QQQ because I'm watching. If we do break this and we come down here, I think I'd have to take a shot at it here to take it back up here. You might be able to take it here. Look how tight these VWAP bands are right now. It's still early in the day, but it's pretty tight. I really want to try the long here with tight risk, but they bought this thing up like multiple times last night off this level. Any of y'all buying this? I'm late to it now. I didn't buy it yet. I'm late to it. And SPY is on pre-market. Oh, there's my level there. SPY is on these pre-market highs right here. I want to get long because of the statistics, right? Might be a little early in the day for it. I'm watching how this resolves real fast. All right, I'll take a shot at it. I'm taking a shot long. We can risk like 10 points or so. Do a tight risk. If I risk down to here, 89. All right, I'm long. Why is my target so far? Whoa. How far did this target go up here? That was a weird way it drew that. All right. All right, I'm long here, tight risk. see if we can get back to VWAP and these EMAs and get trims out. Am I long alone, chat? The lone soldier. IWM. We should have longed RTY maybe. Problem is I have it right at resistance 229, but SPY holding in there. QQQ off. You know, it wicked through that orb low, so we got the orb low break, but it wicked through it, and this is the spot. Remember, I want us to close green today, but I close here or above. This right here, this level right here. This is yesterday's close. Close here or above. You see right here, we're red 30 cents right now. I expect us to close green today. IWM looks very appealing. I don't like these upper wicks that much, but IWM looks very appealing there. And it has a gap fill above us. Oh, I want to go long RTY. Looks like it's going to poke through. Let's see if the buyers step in. I'm actually going to risk to 84. If I get stopped out here, I'll look for this. All right, just added a little bit here. I'm looking for this to shoot back up. A lot of red candles in a row too. I'm looking for it to shoot back up. It's already long Tesla, just trimmed. What is I haven't even looked at Tesla much this morning. Oh, nice. I don't like these upper wicks here, but other than that, Tesla's looking pretty nice this morning. Well done, Penny. Newman. Yeah, it's a heavy level, right? There's a heavy level, 22K. It's a heavy level right here. I almost want to like reduce my risk or not reduce my risk, but keep a small position. And I don't know. I'd rather take the shot here, get stopped out, and then take another shot down here. Risk reward, risk management, whatever you want to call it. This isn't a bad strategy either. Long above at 22. This candle closes above. What time frame would you look at? 5, 15? Yeah, I'm thinking when SPY gets down here is going to be around this area too. I'm not really getting the reaction I wanted here, so probably gonna get stopped out of this. And then we'll try it again down here. Nvidia is really getting beat up right now. go through some of these names. Apple. A few minutes, we'll get that IB set. Might be a little bit early for the long. Like I said, my main plan today was for us to come down lower and then get a nice trade back up into this area. That's going to be my main trade plan today. Yeah, tech getting hit a little bit here as we look across the board. But we'll see. I mean, we're at pre-market highs still. I don't know. Salesforce, what does Salesforce look like? This looks like a rising wedge bear flag, unfortunately, when I first look at this. This part right here concerns me. This look right here. That look concerns me a little bit. If I'm being 100% honest, this could be a bear flag, right? Kind of looks like a bear flag, but it's reclaiming the 20. It's back over this big volume shelf. It held down here. That's a tough call. If anything, I don't know that I would touch it right now. Rejecting the 50-day right here at the high after a nice run. That's tough. One of their earnings are a while out too. The way this is holding, the way these bottom wicks are, I'm still feeling okay here. And if I get stopped, I get stopped. Yeah, CRM's a tough one. If there's some other like catalyst there, I would love to know what's going on with CRM on catalyst, but I'm just not. I'll have to ask, some of my good friends on Spaces are way deeper into the fundamentals on some of those things and in those sectors. So I may ask some of those questions today at some point. We'll see what it looks like. A couple more minutes, we get that first hour, that IB. I feel like this could just shoot down and come right back up at this point. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of aggressive buying just yet. Amazon's getting beat up. Apple's getting beat up. That's not helping us. Big tech's not doing really good. Broadcom's doing okay. Meta's trying to curl back up. I'll stay in it. Yeah, I mean, patterns are patterns, right? Like, not all patterns. Some patterns are good. Some patterns you never know, right? I mean, patterns can fail, if you're a pattern trader, but I do use it for, some confluence. But just looking at that chart in general, it's just, it doesn't jump off the screen at me, right? It just doesn't jump. Like, if I want to take a trade, especially like a name like that I'm trying to maybe take a swing long trade on or a short trade, I want something to just jump off the chart at me. This looks like it's just going to shoot down here and take me out. about to get me. Yeah, it looks like they're going to take me out here. See how this candle closes here in a few minutes. This pivot point's at 75. I don't really want to extend my risk any further, but I feel like we could get a rubber band back to those EMAs at least. That's going to be the issue now. When we do get bought up to those EMAs and VWAP, I may have to consider taking a trade off there. All right, there's that first hour. We did open up below, so that's a little bit concerning. If we immediately reject, here we go. Pop back up here. Hey, we're back green. Slightly. I'm going to take a trim here at the CMA. Put it at 17 and another one at 24, 23. I'm going to trim here and here in this area. Remember why are we, okay, chat. Why am I leaning to the long side? Does anyone know why I'm biased long right now? I've mentioned it a couple times. So why am I looking long? Want to engulf that candle. Or not engulf it, but get above it. Pete, you're all over it. This right here. What are our odds of closing green today? 81%. 81%. I want to play that direction all day long. Look where we're at. We're 50 cents red right now. There's an 81% chance we close here or higher. So up here, this area, 81% chance that we close up here. Yesterday's high has been broken. 81% of the chance, or 81% of the time, this is over 6 months. Look, we can go back, if we go back a year, 79%. So that's a year's worth of data. 2 years, 78%. Last 3 months, 81%. Go back to my 6 months, that's kind of my sweet spot. But look, 68 times we've broken the previous day high. 55 of those were closing green. That's strong. It's strong to me. Does that mean it happens right now? No, it doesn't mean it happens right now. But that's the direction I want to look today, is to back up that direction. Now, once we're over that, over this right here, do I want to stay long? Probably not, because it's basically here or higher. That's the way I look at that. IWM rejecting my level. If we could get some of these big names to catch a bid, Apple's just getting destroyed. Meta looks decent. If I was Meta, Tesla, and Broadcom, Meta and Tesla look decent. The best, the most decent right now. Tesla loves Fridays too, by the way. We can pull that report here in a second. Let me get this trim off. VWAP is orange right here in the middle. Blue is 9. Yellow is 21. I'm up like 12 points or so. I want to get that first trim, de-risk this trade, lock in some profit. Come on, give me a little push here. Give me a little push into those 20s. Up here in the 20s. I've got a trim sitting right here at 18. And I've got a trim sitting right here at 24. Come on, hang in there, hang in there. Give me a little push. Those EMAs. Give me a push into those EMAs. I can just put my stop on this last low right here if I want. Around 87. So what, I'm risking 16 points now. I'm trying to get first trim at, that'd be 15 points. So, I mean, first trim risk reward is a 1-to-1. Then after that, we've got a lot better odds. We did reclaim this 20K right here. So that's decent. Let me pull those Tesla stats. I like this stat on Tesla. Make sure, if you guys haven't tried Edgeful, you got to get in now, because they're about to do this 2.0 release, like a whole revamp. Like the look on this is going to be different. There's so many new features, customizable stuff coming. It's going to be amazing. I've seen snapshots of it. I've shown you guys with Andre a couple times on some of these streams what it's going to look like. I believe we're like a week away, right at a week, 2 weeks max away from that. Check out Tesla here on performance by weekday. Thursday's the strongest day. Friday's second strongest day as far as performance. And then red and green by weekday. Look at Friday. Friday is the highest chance over the last 6 months that we have a green day on Tesla. Look at this, 38 versus 62. Strong. I just heard my trim fill. Boom, there we go. All right. It's a green trade. Now, if we want, we can move this risk up if we want. Let me move this over a little bit. If we want to, go break even here, or if we want to like come up here to order low or something like that, I'm okay, because my risk management style, I've trimmed some. So my risk is not the same, even though I'm still got 16 points of risk here. I have less of my position because I've already taken profit on 15 points or so. Now we are coming into that EMA. We didn't quite get to VWAP, but we'll see if it holds here. SPY is not looking good, by the way. SPY rejected right on or below there. IB low is going to be right here. One of those should break. I think this is where I really want to take my shot long if SPY gives this to us. We'll see what that looks like on QQQ. Yeah, some sellers coming in here above. Sellers coming in here above a little bit. What are we gonna do? Looks like it's rejecting pretty hard off of that EMA. Glad we got that trim. And we just hang out. If we take a loss, we take a loss. And we look for the next one. Yeah, I don't like the look of this. We're gonna get taken out here. There it goes. All right, but I do like trying again here with tight wrist. So I got taken out of that one. I do want to try again down here. Oh, I'm trading on a different application beside this. So I'm just sharing my trading view screen and I'm putting on here where my trade is. So I'm not actually trading on trading view. I'm not executing on trading view. All right, I'm gonna try the long again here because we hit that level in SPY. So I longed again. Same idea. I'm gonna risk down to here. I'm looking for something like this for the majority of my trade. I could probably wait until this happens, but hey, trade my plan and we'll see what happens. I don't like that instant rejection. Might have to wait for this. But I took a little starter here, right around 90. Right on pre-market low in NVIDIA. This is why I want to be long though, because SPY is on this previous all-time high, the back test. If you're short under here, I mean, here's your first target. Maybe 950 is your second target down here. I know this 960 to 970 area was a real big area. There's your Globex low, 72. I don't know. I watched this thing get bought up so many times last night. I just Wonder if we don't get bought up again. See some of these big names. Tesla got rejected. Microsoft's in a downtrend. Amazon's at the lows. Apple finally turning around a little bit. Google coming down, bear flag breaking down. Meta's just hanging in. AMD's curling up. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. Take my shots at it. Good risk to reward. And that's all we worry about. I do think SPY holds here. Now NVIDIA. NVIDIA is struggling here. We broke pre-market low. Need some buyers. We need some buyers. All right, let's see if this long plays out. I would love to get back up into this area. All right, here's what we've got now. We have Microsoft breaking the structure of the upside. NVIDIA is still pulling us down. So opposing forces there. Amazon's making a new low. Not great. Apple trying to turn it back around. I mean, I could take a trim here up 12 points, but yeah, I could have taken a trim up here at 10. Would have been 20 points, but I want this to hold and go. I don't know. This might be a slow Friday, which I didn't mention this. Which we had a slow morning Wednesday on the stream, and then a nice back half. Today, I don't know how much we're going to get action wise today, because what we've done in that big picture I showed you guys at the beginning of the stream, what we saw big picture, and then also what we have as far as like everything coming up next week. I mean, you have massive amounts of earnings. You have FOMC. You know, is anybody wanting to stick their neck out ahead of that? I don't know. I definitely think today, I think looks like inside day from here to here. I think we close here. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm not going to have like massive targets on anything. I'm just going to try to play back to the middle. That's going to be my main approach. Let me change this to IB. So the first hour, even though it says orb, it's IB. We broke IB low, so breaking this high now is very, very low. So I like an inside day type of look. I like us to close here, of course, but I don't really think we see this either. QQQ, same, we broke IB low, so we're not looking for this. That's the stat right over here, guys. Initial balance breakout. There's like no news coming out, by the way. I haven't heard this walker go off like once. Initial balance breakout, that's on Tesla. Let's look at QQQ. QQQ, NQ, same thing. 16%. %. It's not a great. Boy, slow stream. Whoa, we're not even moving. That's okay. We need President Trump to tweet anything. Golly. Have we done anything? Oh, I'm gonna have to make a second coffee this morning. Yeah, space is rugged. I don't know. Anything. Can anything happen? We're still in this downtrend. I mean, I'm at this point, I'm tempted to just cut it because I mean we're holding in, but we're not doing anything. We're still in a downtrend. Quant streaming. Yeah, I mean, at least we're compressing. These EMAs are catching up. We haven't touched the 21. I mean, that makes me think we're probably going to reject it, do this. If we could just... Something. Can we do something? Looks like we want to leg lower, but are we still going to hold this same area? I mean, these upper wicks are telling me that This is not bullish price action. Or am I? I'm right. I'm down 2 points. Just close this trade probably. Reassess. I feel like that's probably the smart decision here, even though I've set my risk. I don't even see action on the book map. Like, I don't know, guys. This is boring. What's going on in the world? I mean, I've pulled up Twitter. I've looked over here for some kind of news or something going on. I've got nothing. This price action. I mean, look at this. Look at, even if we go down to like a small time frame, we're not doing anything now. This 3 minute, you're still seeing 2 minute. When you got to go down to a small time frame chart to see any action. Yeah, IWM almost filled the gap. Trading can be boring. Rotation into small caps. Yeah, I could see that. Selling a little bit of tech, spreading out the risk, but what, if anything, I don't see. I mean, what's our total volume? Total volume's got to be very low. It looks extremely low. IWM's about to fill that gap though. And we're rejecting 20, rejecting the 9, bearish price action. I'm thinking I just close out and wait for something to happen down here first. I don't know. I will say this, trading can be very boring. The only thing I'm hearing is like small 145 on Nvidia. Nvidia's still trickling down. The only thing I'm hearing is like some small caps getting squeezed. I'm not even hearing like news really coming out. Doesn't sound like Trump's really doing anything. Yeah, we are selling off here. So like my original plan today, there's the pivot point. My original plan today was to get long down here in this area somewhere. But man, I appreciate everyone hanging out in here, even though it's a slow market. I don't have a whole lot to talk about or say, unfortunately. Shorts are playing out. China. Is China still pumping China names? I know that they had some positive comments last night. Here's a new low. If it goes ahead and takes me out of my trade here. Almost there. Where's SPY? I keep clicking on the wrong SPY. SPY's still holding that level though. Oh, I really want to be long right here. Still. It's probably going to wick me out and then go back up. And that will be the story of my morning so far. So Jayhawk, divergence is an interesting thing. I mean, yeah, you see it diverging because obviously NQ and the Nasdaq are more higher tech weighted, so you have a lot more. You have a lot more tech. What do you call it? You have less names and a lot more exposure to tech. So if tech is weak as a whole, Nasdaq's going to pull back. Nasdaq also just moves. Like if you ever notice, SPY's up 1% and QQQ will be up 1.5%. Like there's just natural divergence there. How do I explain this? So divergence is you can look at divergence a bunch of different ways. So like when I see divergence in a bunch of different areas, right? So like let's say I see right now NQ much weaker, making new lows while SPY is not. It tells me that something in SPY is stronger and holding us up, and tech's not right now. But it makes me want to stay away when things are doing different things. When you got a tug of war going on, I don't want to be really a part of it. Honestly, I should have taken this trade off, but I kind of defined my risk. We still had this pivot point area below us. Could have added maybe to the trade here, but I'm not going to add to a trade that looks like it's going against me. That just doesn't seem like a good idea. So we'll just let the divergences play out. I do want to take a look at what's some China names doing. KWeb back to the 50-day. Now you're running into trouble at the 50-day on KWeb. But KWeb up 2%. Baba looks decent actually. Frank, what's up, Frank? Frank, I've been long. My average is up here. I gave it some room. I didn't add to it. It just, the stats tell me that we're going to close green. Wow, look at that. How about this, with this hold on the longs coming back? We're green again. We're green. Not a trading related question. Do you have any thoughts on manufacturing being brought back to the States? Maybe other. So one, the Dow which has a lot of manufacturing in it. The Dow had historically terrible performance there, like end of December, and it's made a massive comeback. And so like, I'm definitely keeping my eye on this. Look at this comeback on the Dow. This is a massive move on the Dow, and some of these big names that I watch, Caterpillar being one of them. Look at this move on Caterpillar. I have an EMA that I use, the 233, that it came off of on that daily. Boy, look at that move back up. It undercut that 200-day, but I have that other EMA that I watch. Home Depot hasn't really done a whole lot. Honeywell, I mean, decision point, but manufacturing, I mean, yeah, how much of it comes back? I mean, there's going to be a lot of things to find out over the next, I mean, this administration's 4 years, right? But the first, it's not going to be the first day, the first week. It's going to be kind of what happens after the first few months, what is actually becoming a reality. That's kind of the way I approach this. So we'll see. We're watching TLT bonds, TME. So TME, Tempest, this is that name that Pelosi bought. And you can see when, I mean, wow. Still moving higher. Tempest AI. So some of my friends, Shy, if y'all know Stock Savvy, Shy from Spaces, from X, Logical, and Sam, they do a podcast on that we just started with Wolf Financial. They went into a deep dive on this, and that episode's coming out tomorrow. I would actually listen to their comments on Tempest AI. When I don't know something fully, I always go to somebody else. How do you determine a rejection of EMAs in the 5 minute? At what point can you say rejected and now I want to enter a trade? Because, I if we zoom in on this a little bit, and it's going to be hard to see with all this other stuff going on. Let's take some of this off. So this blue, you see how like we broke through the EMAs and then we started rejecting. This is a rejection because we see this wick up into it and come back down. And then again, the EMA 9 crosses through and you see it's rejecting. Top of this wick's rejecting. Now we're trying to bust through it. We close this candle over it. So that's one thing I look for. But when you're in a trend and you haven't touched something in a while, so like I would almost expect this 21 we haven't touched since 1010. I would almost expect anything that touches right here to get wick and sent back down, to be 100% honest. I mean, maybe that's not the best example. It's tough. I mean, if you look yesterday, maybe there was an example. We were under the EMAs, we got back over them, we started closing over them, and then you see we supported off of it. This reaction off of it, very strong. And then right here, you can start getting back under them. I don't know, it's kind of a guide, kind of a, I don't know, you can use it for entries and exits. I mean, look at this trend right here. Rejected the 21, and then look at this, continued to reject. I mean, so like if you're looking for an entry, like you see something break, like right here, you had this low, it broke, it back tested right at this low. So you see, I'm gonna put my cursor here. So this candle right here, back tested the low and hit the EMA. Maybe you take a short entry there and you stay in it as long as you continue to ride those EMAs. Something to look at there. Quantum junk. I don't know if I want to call it junk, but I'm not touching that quantum trade right now. I think it was a great theme to be in a month ago. Maybe it had some volatility and some fun moves to it, but since then I'm staying away from it. All right, we're back inside the orb here. We're back over 22K. We held this pivot point. I didn't get stopped out of the trade. We're back green. Now we can maybe make some trims, make some money. We'll see. Did we get slapped down the first time we touched 21? Maybe. I definitely want to take a trim here because I haven't trimmed yet. So I want to take a first trim if we get into this EMA. So I'm going to put I have an order sitting right here at 07. Or 08 actually. So I'm hoping we can take that. And then I want to trim at VWAP, which is what, 17 right now. So I'll have a trim sitting right there at 17. We can get that. I won't be surprised if this comes back down again, but whatever. All right, going through the rest of these. Not trading related question, thoughts on manufacturing. Oh yeah, I already hit that one. Oh, this came in multiple times, no wonder. Okay, Twilio, is Twilio moving still? Is anything moving? IWM, I mentioned that earlier. Oh man. Somebody else was saying IWM. We did fill the gap. We broke previous day's high. That's bullish. Boy, IWM getting the best reaction this morning so far. What we really need to see is some of these names to start to bottom out. We're holding, this is yesterday's close on Tesla, holding green right there, bouncing. Broadcom, it's okay. No. All right, I just heard my trim go off. There's our 21, so I definitely want to take a trim because I haven't touched it in a while. First trim, hey, this trade turned out green. But we had the one stop out. I got right back in, basically the same level, but I readjusted my risk, right? Stayed in the trade. 970 was a level I knew just from charting. Wow, we held that 970 perfectly. So between basically this entire area, I knew I had some support to deal with. So that's why I gave this a little bit more room, like 21 points or so. Look at that rejection. Look at the top of the wick right on the 21. We haven't touched it in a while. It's very common. Now we need to hold here and we need we need this candle to close up here would be the best. Tempest is the real deal. Double click. If Nancy's in it, I feel like I want to be in it, right? But yeah, I definitely, as far as a deep dive on that stock, I would definitely point you to some people that are way more knowledgeable in that space than I am. That's who I lean on, right? I can't know everything, but you can definitely find smart people in different sectors. Non-trading, oh boy, Next Gen and Newman, you got the question in. But manufacturing, I think it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. The tariff stuff, is it a bluff? Is it a strong arm? Is it a negotiation? What does come out of these tariffs? I mean, I don't know the answer, but I think it's a very interesting question. I think space is rugged. And we're back to sitting here doing nothing. If you're still, if you're short, I don't blame you for being short. I mean, that was probably full target if I was short. I mean, what a move. If you got short up here and held, what a move. I have to stay kind of on the bullish side of things just because of the data. Boy, Amazon's still getting beat up here under orb. What's NVIDIA doing? Not a big fan of what NVIDIA looks like. I want it to try to bottom, but it hasn't bottomed. It's going to be tough for Qs if some of these big names aren't participating. What's Apple doing? Right down at previous day low. Oof. All right, we're coming up right on the 2-hour mark. It's been kind of a slow stream. I mean, we had an opening move up and then a move back down, and now we're just hanging out here. I don't like that we're chopping under 22K, but we're still holding that same area that I've been expecting to. Let's see, did SPY hold? Look at that. SPY's still holding where I wanted it to hold. This is the main thing that I've been watching. Previous all-time high. If you go to this daily chart, oh, previous all-time high holding. Well, this is a boring stream. If I'm being 100% honest, there's just not much going on, not much to talk about. I had a feeling when you make this kind of move, like I said, I had a feeling ahead of next week we would have a slow stream, but this is exceeding my expectations of slow. All right, what I'm going to do here is absolutely nothing. How does that sound? I'm going to sit in my long position here unless I get stopped out. Defined risk. Still looking to see if we can get up to this area. I still will remember SPY and QQQ. I expect to close green by the end of the day. That doesn't have to happen now, but by the end of the day. I'm not looking for anything up here because the IB broke to the bottom on both of these indices. So a choppy inside type of day is what I'm predicting based on the probabilities. They're buying IWM right and left. That is probably our best opportunity today. If you guys see any good opportunities, you guys let me know. Microsoft, of all the Mag 7 names, Broadcom's not looking good. Microsoft looks decent. If I had to find an opportunity and just take a shot, Microsoft maybe. Google breaking the downtrend, curling, maybe. Could be a bear flag. I'm just not seeing much on the tech side of things. I'm not seeing much excitement in anything. Walmart's having a good day. Hood's having a good day. New all-time highs on Hood. Okay. Palantir having a good morning. We looked at that earlier, but look, even though names doing well are not going any higher right now, they're just consolidating. PanW, I posted a chart on this yesterday, and it looks so good. It looks like it's in a full-on breakout. Where's CrowdStrike? Both of those two names have been on my watch. I tweeted these out yesterday. Look at CrowdStrike. I mean, this looks like a move up, consolidation for the next breakout. We'll see if that plays out, and then PanW. This V-shaped bottom. PanW on the weekly. It's just holding. If you look at this channel on the weekly, it's just been holding. So I like both of those. Look, there's a weekly look at this bull flag. I mean, that looks fantastic to me on CrowdStrike. And then this is when they had the big debacle with the outage, right? We've completely recovered that. We've consolidated, and it's trying to go higher. Hey, we're still sitting in the trade. Sometimes it's boring, right? Trading can be boring, but I don't have high expectations for the day in general. I don't have high expectations for a long up here anymore because of the IV breaking to the downside. Data-based bias, right? But I do want to stay long back towards a green day on both QQQ and SPY. SPY is right there. SPY hitting it right there. I mean, that would basically be a target on SPY, a main target. QQQ, still looking for a move up to here. Where would that put us? Let's see, like 30 points higher or so. So right in this area. This is kind of the main target. I mean, probably right there, main target, 2-to-1 risk reward on the long still. Initial rejection of the 21, held a 5-minute doji here, trying to go up. NVIDIA not helping out our case. We're right at 2 hours, guys. I'll probably close this out here pretty soon. Y'all have any last questions, comments, anything? Appreciate y'all hanging in here. I mean, what a boring day to trade. But some days are great, some days are bad. Staying within yourself on a day like today, sticking to your plan, keeping good risk management, not over trading. I'm sure like shorts are probably over trading this. I mean, longs maybe too, like me. I may be over trading a little bit, but I'm calm. I have my risk set, not worried about a whole lot. We'll see what happens. I'll stick to the plan, right? And I'll stick to the data. I keep my bias is based on data only. That's the only thing I'm looking at. That's what Edgeful's for. But when I get to the point where I need to start looking for trades, when I gotta go find a trade and I gotta go find something that supports a thesis, that's when I really don't want to be necessarily in a trade. So we'll see what happens. All right. I'm bored, to be 100% honest. All right, well, the long's playing out. You know what? I am going to keep the stream open for a little bit longer, just to see if this trade plays out a little bit. I've got another 30 minutes or so. Give a little bonus since it's been so slow this morning. Well, the longs are still longing. I might have a guest joining us in a couple minutes. See if we can save the stream with something. But how about these longs? All right, who remembers the level I looked at on SPY all morning? Look at that. Held it. We're back green on SPY. The data is behind us. QQQ, let's play catch up. Let's play catch up. Our long is longing. We're up 20 points. IWM's absolutely. It's so much less stressful to trade the right direction with data, though. Should have long ES. That 145 area, if we long ES, we'd be up nicely. All right, guys. Let's see if I have a guest coming in here. Let's see. Boom! There he is, the CEO himself. What's up, Andre?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm bored. I think the whole stream is bored right now. It's been an interesting morning. I've taken a couple shots at longs. I've been sitting in this one forever, forever. But Andre, before I know you haven't been paying attention to the stream or anything, but why am I long right now? I bet you probably know the answer.
I do know the answer, and that is because of a wonderful report called the high, or actually the previous week's range also, and then there's another one that I was actually just telling you about. The previous
saw
day's
that.
range.
So
And then-
SPY and QQQ both previous day's range broke. And then what's the other one?
The high and low by weekdays, the one that I actually took this trade today. And if you go back to your charts for a second and just zoom out and look that Wednesday is currently the high of the week. Well, at least on NQ it is. I don't know if it actually is on, is it?
On
Is it still the
QQQ,
high?
yeah, right here. And look where we basically double topped.
That's crazy. So did QQ make a new high today or no?
No, it missed it by 3 pennies.
Yeah. Well,
So chalk that one up to the game, right?
yeah. I mean, that's the trade that I got smoked on today. Was on NQ, it's a little bit different. Like QQQ is like almost a perfect double top. NQ is a little bit like today didn't quite get there. It was like just about 20 points off. Yeah, just about 20 points off. But yeah, I was going for that trade long this morning. Caught the move up. Was waiting for my target, and then got smoked. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Well, this has been so like on SPY, I had the confluence of the previous day high breaking, and then right here where the gap fill line is basically where we closed the day before. So like this is main target here, getting long. This right here, which I use these NFP levels, which is based off of that NFP report that comes out. But if I go to the daily and show you this, that NFP level is also the previous all-time high.
Yeah.
So you see that 609.07, and when I bring it into the closer 609.07, you see, our exact low of the session was right there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my confluence. I longed in Q instead. I should have just longed ES, to be 100% honest, because tech has been getting beat up. I keep looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks terrible.
The Apple daily chart looks crazy, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, Apple daily chart looks like I don't want to touch that thing. It didn't come low enough for me to want to take a shot at it. Let me find it here, right here.
Like that's a kind of a crazy chart right there, honestly.
That's wild. Here's the 200 day. I was willing to take the bet on the 200 day.
Yeah.
But we can't get there.
You were thinking about the NVIDIA chart too? I haven't even looked at that one, honestly.
Well, it looks okay. The problem is today, intraday, NVIDIA looks terrible.
Oh, okay.
This is what's dragging us so bad in tech is NVIDIA. Amazon's not doing the best. Okay, it's finally getting a little bit. Microsoft was the one that actually started turning around. So that's kind of helping us. Broadcom's been strong today, but it's just slow trickle.
Do you have
Tesla's been terrible.
I have my watch list set up. So it's in order of weight of the NQ each. So like it's Apple, NVIDIA, like in order of weight. So what I'll do is just spam the space bar on TradingView and just go through and see like how each of them are acting.
So I have the top 10 watch list right here, but I don't have them ordered like that. I kind of know it in my head, but I don't have them ordered like that. But I think I did at one point, and then like one day I hit like what's up and what's down, like it resorted them, and then I just lost it at that point. But that is interesting that you watch the same thing I do. Is the top 10. A lot of people watch Mag 7. I'm like, okay, I want to know what the top 10 are. That's why I throw in Costco, I throw in Netflix, and pay attention. Like, what's the top 10? And then Broadcom's like number 6. People talk about the Mag 7, but Broadcom's number 6 top holding by weight in QQQ. Why wouldn't I want to know what's going on with Broadcom? And you look at 2% day. I mean, that's probably what's holding us in. Oh my gosh, have you seen look at this.
Wow, what a
IWM.
run. What a run. You know, if you look at for the people that
you
are
can share your
holding
screen too if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to right now. For the people that hold, share my screen, just give me a second. Let me close my computer in quick.
I've got about 20 minutes or so till my space. So, well,
Yeah.
I told everyone, I was like, we may go a little bit longer just because, boy, we didn't quite hit VWAP. That's disappointing. That was where my next trim was. But I said, we'll keep the stream going a little bit. Maybe I can pull in a guest or something. I appreciate everyone that's hung in here. This has been a boring morning. And my chat froze up, so I didn't even have chat for a little bit. Let me hit a couple of these questions, just catching up here. I use the 9 and 21 EMA on the 5-minute chart. That's my main watch on EMAs. And there was a couple other questions. Let's see. Pete faded me a while ago. That's all right. He faded me. He got a nice move though from when it hit the 21 the first time.
That was that yesterday? Me and you were short and I was long.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we're. Which I got ran over. Which and somebody made this comment yesterday, Andre, and I like to pick your brain on this real fast.
Yeah.
So, somebody said the data was wrong, and I said no. The data is the data.
Yeah.
If 82% of the time this happens, that means if I take that trade 10 times, 8 times it's gonna go in my favor by probability. Yep. Now, 2 of those times it's not. Yesterday it did not, right? That end of the day went just insane, right? That happens. I just got my trim at VWAP, by the way, for those watching the long NQ trade. About 25 points here.
I'll pull it up.
Yes. I sat in this trade all day. We're green.
Great. Where did you get long from?
90. But I got long early, and I gave it a wide. I gave it like a 22-point stop.
Yeah. So, what my thoughts are on the actually keep this up because I had this up before. But what my thoughts are on what the data being wrong is, it's not.
The data is not wrong. It can't be wrong, right?
Exactly. The data can't actually be wrong. It's just about the understanding. Yes, people think that 80% is like a lock. They're like, oh, it's a lock. I'm going to take this. We're good. I'm going to risk way more than I normally would because the probability is so high. What you don't think about when you see the 80%, 82% or whatever it is the other side of that. That's the 20%. That's obviously going to happen at some point. That's 2 out of 10 times it's going to happen. You just have to make sure that as long as you take all the setup, that you don't blow your account on the 2 times. Capitalize when it works, and then make sure that you don't screw up your account on the days that it doesn't. So you don't want to be using more size or averaging down just because the stats are really in favor of the direction. So that's my piece of advice there for anyone who sees very high probabilities. Obviously that means take the trade, but it doesn't mean that you should start to size in irresponsibly into any single trade. You don't want your month or your quarter to be made by one trade typically. You want to be able to have consistent wins.
Right. You want to be able to take, so when I look at a data that's 80%, right? I want to be able to take that trade 10 times and be able to handle the 2 losses and take the 8 wins. And not every trade is that strong, right? Some trades are more, 60, 70% or something like that. But you have to be able to accept and how about this move right here, guys? I've been long. I've been trying long all morning. I've shown them the data why. And it's so nice to see it play out. I mean, on QQQ, we're trying to get back to break even. How far are we away? We're 20 cents away now. So that we're 0.04. We're getting really close to the main target for this trade, and I'm trimming as we get close to it.
Yeah. And just so you know, the new what's in play is going to look like this. And you'll have your previous day's range right here. We're going to add some stats here, obviously. But yeah, the previous days, and I'll actually switch to NQ. But so previous day's range, this is what it's going to look like right here. You'll be able to turn some of these on or off. So you can actually hide the ones that might not be relevant to you. So if you don't care about ADR, for example, you can just turn it off and now you have a consolidated view. And we actually got this inspiration from you. because you were the one who was like, I want to be able to see a lot of things on one screen. So that's where this
Yeah.
inspiration comes. But yeah, when you use this, you'll be able to have your previous day's range. So you'll know, okay, previous day's high was taken out, which you can see right here. Obviously, that's gonna, and then we're gonna add in like the bullish bias, whatever else.
I mean, because like when I'm pulling these reports in the morning, right, I'm putting together my thesis. But if I can have that in this one visual, that's going to be a game changer. I can flip over here and say, okay, what should my bias be based on data? Previous day high broken, gaps already been filled, those type of things. Like, and I have it just in one view. Like, I'm so excited for this release.
Yeah, and I'm still. I know that you're long right now, but like honestly, I feel like it's not out of the question for price to take out Wednesday's high. It's 70 points away. Like that is a pretty decent move. But if you look at, I'll actually add the ADR back. So the bullish potential move as of right now is 22,163. Oh, so yeah. I mean, if price stays within the ADR, which you can see right here, and the way that this gets calculated is it takes right over here. And then it says the bullish potential move is 22,163. So if you go from the low of day to the ADR, which is 192 points, which is right here. Oh, God. 192 points. That's right over here, roughly. So it's not
Where is that
totally. So 22,163. That's the bullish potential move. So if you expect price to stay within the ADR, you can expect price to stay within this blue area here, which is like not that unreasonable for price to hit Wednesday's high and then make a new high of the week, which will just go here one sec. Or actually, yeah, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. Where's my high and low?
Yeah, when's the most common high of the week?
Yep, and then I'm gonna go right here and Q. And the stats on this version this is our internal version, so let me just keep that here, and then I'm going to pull up the live version, and you can see that in the last 6 months, the high of the week has only been made on a Wednesday once. Like it's not that.
It's usually on Monday or Friday. Wow. So today is the second highest probability that we make the high of the week.
And then when you filter this by the
that's interesting.
If you filter this by the weekly candles, like if I go to the green weekly candle, almost 50% of the time on the green weekly candles, the high is going to be made on the Friday. So what this means is this week is obviously going to be green. So right here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, obviously this week is going to be green. In the last 6 months, the high is likely to be made on a Thursday or a Friday, not the Wednesdays. So not unreasonable, to be honest, to expect price to get here.
To break that. So I have one counterpoint.
Yep, sure, let's do it.
Initial balance.
Yeah. It breaks one side, right?
Yeah, and so that's why I mentioned this earlier in the stream, the initial balance, there's only a 15% chance we make this double break. So yeah, there's still 15% chance, right? But for my targets on this long, I'm not looking for something way out there, right?
Yeah. You don't want to, in this case, you don't want to be targeting this point. Now, today's range is a lot smaller than typical, like what you typically see for NQ in the first few hours. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. This is a little bit where you have to make a decision on what you want to trade on. So for example, I was long this morning. I got stopped out on this move down. I was looking for this. This was my profit target right here. This 0.93 area. Now, obviously, price did break to the downside of the IV. Now, is it probable that it's going to come back up? The answer to that is no. But
I know it's tough. So Andre, whenever this happens, like I still have some confluence. Like I still want to stay long. I still have some confluence higher, but I have like maybe one strike against me. And so I'm thinking I want to trade directionally that way, but I want to adjust my targets. If a runner can make it up there, like I use that directionally as maybe we can go get that high. That's like a pull in that direction. But I know like, okay, maybe we have a stopping point at that IV high or maybe at the 75 75% retrace, which those new lines on the orb are fantastic, by the way. I'm watching
Yeah,
those. So I got those turned on. But so how do you adjust? So like, because for me, like if we hadn't broken that IV low, I would be more bullish than I am like maybe slightly less bullish now because of that.
Yeah, so I was gonna try to look at we need to add this report, but I was gonna look at it by the IV size. So I would assume that this is actually a smaller, it's not actually. I was gonna say a smaller IV than normal. And let me just try to kind of get a feel for it. Yeah, 100 points is kind of normal actually, or 170, 160, 220. So
something we could look at some point would be the orb range and how it determines the rest of the day. Because like I think yesterday our orb range was super small.
Yeah.
Like that early in the morning it was super small, which a lot of people were waiting on Trump to speak. But then there's days where the orb's like really wide, and there's days where it's a lot smaller. And it's always interesting to see. Which I like that by levels report anyway. But continue with what you were measuring there.
What I was trying to do, and maybe I can, we don't have it is what the problem is, but okay, so what is the IB here? 0.41, so I'm gonna go here. I mean, yeah, there's not really that high of probability looking at this. So what I'm doing right now is putting a lot of weight on one report, whereas there's multiple reports that are telling me that price is not going to make a new high or touch this area, at least to the new high of day, which would be a double break. So that means to me that like maybe I'm focusing too much on one of these reports, which would be the high and low by weekday. So if there's multiple reports that are giving you a bearish bias, that's where you can start to like align your bias. I mean, for me today, to be honest, I took a trade, I took a loss, and I'm done, and that's it. that's what I'm doing personally today. But that's the way that I like to do it. I usually like to get like 1 or 2 trades in the morning, and I'm not too big of a fan of this type of price action. Like even you said before, like the price action has been kind of boring. Yesterday was pretty boring too, to be honest. Like it was consolidation chop all morning, even up until kind of noon-ish. It was pretty choppy, especially, I mean, that's when Trump was speaking, but.
Yeah, well, it came back and held that orb right there that I can see on your, and then I remember it came back and it broke into it and then just took off. And I was shorting all day yesterday because we broke that previous day low, right? And so I was just short-sided. I came out green on the day. I should have been more green. I took some bad trades, honestly, just to be 100% honest, took some bad trades just based on the price action. But just having the bias still helped me. But even then, and that end of the day was crazy. But yesterday was a weird day because it broke back in that orb, and you see where it held though, right? You got your line on, I see it. It came in right into that 25% retracement spot. I can't wait for that lines on. How long until we get that report?
We got to release the new update first. I mean, I don't think
priorities, right? I like that.
Yeah, I don't think it should be too hard to build. I mean, we obviously like there's time that goes into building it. There's time that goes into checking it, but I feel like we should probably have it within like a week, hopefully. But
it seems like because you kind of have a foundation around it with the orb and the orb by levels anyway, it feels like you could. Like it's not going to be like a brand new fresh report. I feel like it's a tag off. But it'll be interesting.
And that also helps if it's a sub report, like if it's one of these.
So finishing up that conversation though, looking at and I think that's what this new Edgeful version is really going to help is having multiple reports up there, so you can have like if I have 4 or 5 up there on the screen and I can see 3 or 4 of these are confirming, but I have like 1 or 2 that are diverging off of it. Maybe I don't want to be in a trade, or maybe I want to take my expectations down a little bit. So for the new high of week, I probably want to taper that expectation down a little bit, just me personally looking at it, because we broke that IB low, and there's not a high chance we're going to break the high now. But
Now, yep. Continue.
But maybe one outweighs the other. Like you never, it's like okay, if I'm looking at 10 indicators, or if I'm looking at different levels, or if I'm looking at SPY and QQQ and different things, and you see more things in confluence, you feel stronger. If you see less, that doesn't mean maybe it's not a good trade or a decent trade, but you just have a little bit less confluence. Like that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. I was on a call with a user, and what he said, I was showing him this design, and he was like, so right now we have broken previous day's high, which is a bullish bias. We also have opening candle, hourly opening candle, bearish. We also have, there's a bunch of different mixed confluences today. So he was saying, what if you can, and we also have the IB, which is bearish, broken to one side, to the downside specifically, which is, so he was saying, what if you can have like a what's in play score, where if it's bullish, it's a +1, if it's a bearish, -1, and then you have an overall score. So if you see like +5, let's say, that's a super bullish day. But if you see -5, it's a super bullish day. Then if you have like a +1 or a -1, it's
like a confluence score, right? Like how much confluence do you have here? And that's interesting. I'm trying to think of how you would quantify it, because in my brain, I'm automatically going, okay, previous day's range has an 80-something% chance of happening. And IB, also 80% chance it only breaks one side. So those two almost cancel out in a way. But what else do I have, that maybe sways it one way or the other? But if I have a report that's maybe 60% probability versus one that's 82%, I want that 82% because it's stronger. So I'm wondering how you would quantify that, but it seems like it would be doable. You would just have to figure out what metrics you would use. But I would love that because I feel like when you do have 3 or 4 different things going different directions, that could be a good sign of like, hey, click the X on the top of my broker, walk away, and not worry about this for a little bit. So there was recently, we've had this happen about 3 times recently. SPY breaking previous day high and QQQ breaking previous day low.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Who's going to win that battle? I don't want to find out, but to me, that is terrible trading conditions. If anything, it makes me want to play everything back to the middle, no matter what, because I don't want to fight when they're fighting each other. The 2 major indices are fighting each other. I don't really want to be a part of that battle and find out who's going to win, even though QQQ has won most of the time because it's a tech-led market right now, but not always the case. It's very interesting. I just got another trim right there. I just filled right at the top of my
35.
Yeah, 35. I had it I have an outer VWAP band right there.
Do you have that
the midpoint of the orb is right there too.
Or do you use the orb midline?
I'm using the orb midline. 30-minute orb midline.
30 minutes.
30 minute. 30 minutes my favorite. I don't know why. It's just always been 30-minute, and then honestly, I never really used the IB much. Every once in a while, I would mark it as like maybe if we were in a trend day as a back test spot to get long again. But then I saw the IB report stats. So now the IB goes on one of my charts every day because of how strong the stat is. We just hit a previous day high as well. So on QQQ. So that's pretty much full target if anyone's following along on the trades.
Where is it? Previous week's range. Where is it? Previous day's range, previous close, previous day's range by session. There it is. Okay. Now, if you are using the indicators, so something really important to note, anyone who's watching, in terms of the indicators that we have, the previous day's range, pretty much almost everything that has multiple reports or multiple features on it, my session is going to be for the futures, and the normal one is going to be for the equity. So, use previous day's range. That one is for QQQ. It's for SPY. It's for Tesla. But if you do previous day's range by session, that's for futures.
Boy, look at this candle. It rejected right at that, right on my outer VWAP band, but right there at the that 35 was a rough rejection.
Yeah. And so you can see right here, this is previous session high, this is the New York high, and then this is previous session low. So you can obviously see price broke the New York high, obviously giving us that bullish bias that Em is talking about. But yeah, and then you're using Q. You actually look at QQQ a pretty decent amount, right?
Yeah, all day. So I have one tab open with QQQ and one tab open with NQ. I usually do 15-minute chart with IB on QQQ.
Yep.
And I have my gap fill, my previous day's range, and usually I'll have previous week's range on there. Right now, I have it just hidden because I don't need it with where we're at. But I have those on there the entire time. And actually, a lot of times I'll even put orb by levels on there. And then what I'll do is while the orb's developing, I'll watch it. And then once we get to the IB, I'll change it because, we can just customize the time frame, right?
Yeah.
So that way I'm not switching indicators from orb to IB. I just go from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and get that first hour.
Yeah. I'm going to show you something too.
I do have a space in 4 minutes, so
no worries. I'm going to do this, that, and then I'm going to do this, and right here, what we are doing is combining the midline with the orb by levels, and we're pretty much
breaking down. I just got profit stop, by the way.
Wow, what is going on?
Nvidia just broke. I didn't hear any news, but wow.
No. Does anyone use this little news thing that TradingView has?
Never.
Yeah, neither do I.
So I have so many other news sources. I've never paid attention to it. The only thing I ever look at is the like earnings or whatever down there.
Yeah. So what I wanted to show was that we're combining the orb by levels, the orb, and the orb midlines into one indicator, and we just added this orb extension. So I know people that like to use this, the orb extension, like the orb by performance. So here you can actually put in like an X% move up or down from the orb. So if I do this, and let me just hide all these, and this is going to be in one like pretty much like super orb indicator. And let me just turn these off. But then if I show my extension lines, let's just say the average move outside the orb is 0.43% or whatever. Let's just say it's 5. Now you'll automatically the levels for you because of it.
Oh, okay.
So
that's interesting.
We're adding the new feature into this orb indicator. So if you want to do like a 0.25 extension to the up and down side, now you'll know based on the orbs or based on the performance down. So you can see right here, this is 0.25%. You'll know what the moves are, and you can like accurately set your profit targets. It's kind of in line with the orb by levels, but a lot more customizable, or I mean like similarly customizable. But yeah, you remember how you said that you want to consolidate all the orb indicators into one? That's what this is.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, okay, I love the orb by levels. I love the midpoints. I love how it looks like highlighting that first section. And this, I'm looking at it right here. That's essentially having it all in one spot just made the most sense because, you start looking at, okay, well, I want this orb on here. And for me, I use a couple of different chart setups, so I can spread that out a little bit. But yeah, having all these in one spot, that's massive.
Yeah, and then like yesterday is a decent example for this. Like the average orb extension, you can see is 0.43% on NQ. So if I come down here and I make this 0.43%, I'll just hide the downward line. You can see that if you put your profit targets in this area, I mean, this is a crazy day, so just keep that in mind. But like that's what this is for. You can set your targets using these based on where the orb high is.
There's obviously an area of interest. Look at that. Somebody's paying attention to it. Look where it back tested and held, and then look where it rejected after. After it fell. Look at that. That's insane.
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, it is kind of nuts actually looking at that right now. But But yeah, so I wanted to show you that
Hell
we
off
are
here,
we're
by the way.
consolidating.
Oh
We're
my
making like
gosh.
super indicators. But yeah, that's it. I hope I gave you guys some more entertainment on this boring.
Andre, thanks for saving the stream today. It was the trade worked out, so it was good. We got the green trade. Honestly, we could probably take the same trade again right here, and I'm probably gonna long again right here, just because it's the same idea that we still come back up to close green. I just want to buy dips today. But my bigger picture doesn't want to buy dips yet either. I'm kind of like on a what do I do on a Friday? But we'll see. I do have to jump. I have a space that I got to jump onto. So I appreciate, Andre, I appreciate you coming on. You always show me new things. We always have great combos. I'm excited for the new release, of course, coming. Do we have a date for the people?
This weekend, I think. This weekend we can do it. That's when you messaged me, I was actually reviewing the new site.
Oh, there we go. All right, so maybe on stream next week at some point, we'll have the new. All right, guys, tune in next week. I'll let you guys know when I'm streaming. Wednesday, we will not do a stream because we have a massive day going that entire day with everything going on. But maybe I get it in on Monday. We'll see. I think I get it in on Monday. Definitely next Friday we'll be live. So just follow me on X, and I'll keep you posted on when the stream's going to be. Andre, thanks for joining as always. You saved the stream, I think, because and not only that, as we were trimming, I mean, look at this massive sell-off. I mean, I know you see it over there on the side of your screen. Holy cow, what a sell-off. IWM held in, by the way. Maybe we just need to stay long on small caps. But anyways, Andre, appreciate you. I got to jump. Thanks to everybody that joined. Make sure you check out edgeful.com, at Wolf Financial as well on X, and we'll see